Welcome to another video about your team assignments. So let's start with what this is basically. So this team assignment is only a presentation. This is about the company that you picked. So some of you picked Apple, Amazon, whatever. So the company that you picked. And this is a team presentation, meaning everybody, each and every person in the team needs to present. And the number one thing people get wrong in or don't do right in team assignments is the timing when you're doing the presentation. So make sure you practice uh, because that's very important. Let's say there are 4 or 5 people in the team. What typically happens is the first, 1 or 2 people, they take more than like 80% of the time. So then there isn't much time left for other students. So make sure the number one thing is make sure you practice. That's number one, practice on your timing. Second, and if you want to practice, the best way to do is do a Zoom session with your teammates. And this way you can, use your smartphone to keep track of time. And that's the best way to do it. Number two thing that people don't get it right is, they have too much on the slides. You don't have to have a whole lot on the slides. You can just have the bullet points. And the other thing that you may want to do is make sure, to have a good quality presentation, make sure you have the company colors as the background. So that kind of also gives a good, kind of an official look to your presentation. So try to use that trick whenever you're, even for your job interview where you go, try to use the company colors. So it kind of looks official as well as it looks like you know more than what you might know. Plus, they kind of look at you as you belong to the company. It's very important if you're doing a presentation to a client or presentation to a company, as a part of your interview. Okay. So I'm just giving an idea, 10 to 15 slides. Again, depends, how long you can talk about a slide, just to give you that. And you guys have already picked a team. And this one is, make sure you pick a large company. The reason I'm saying large company is because, if you pick a smaller company, you would have difficulty finding data on that, okay? Plus, when you're comparing with its competitors, you may not get enough data on the competitors as well. But if you pick a large enough company, then you will have data on the company as well as its competitors. Okay? Make sure you use charts, figures, graphs to make your presentation much more impactful. So you start off with the outline, which is here. Is somebody in your team introduce other team members? So you could say, John is going to talk about the introduction, Mary is going to talk about vision, mission, so on and so forth. Okay. And for the introduction, try to come up with an interesting story about the company, like the name of the company, the way it started or anything. So I'll share an interesting story. I don't know if this is true or not, but this is the story I've heard about Netflix. Most of you know Netflix, but not many of you know who Reed Hastings is. So he's the guy who founded Netflix, and the way the story goes is he had rented Apollo 13 movie from Blockbuster, and back in the day it was $5 per night. Okay, and if you were late, then you would be charged $5 for the additional nights. So the story goes that his Apollo 13 VHS tape, it kind of fell behind his couch or something happened, and he returned it after like a month or so. Guess what? He was charged $150 late fee. I don't know if that story is true or not, but he wasn't too happy about it. And he had recently sold a software company. He had like $200-300 million lying around, and he said, "Oh, let's start Netflix." So that's how it got started. So some interesting story about the way the company got started. And then the next thing is, brief history, what important events in the companies, product lines, what kind of products they make, pie charts. Pie charts are very important. They kind of give you an idea, quick peek in what's happening in the company. So make sure you have at least 2 pie charts, one for, the product. So this would be product A, B, C, so on and so forth. Another pie chart for where the company is making money. So this is US, this is EU, so on and so forth. Okay. Then the next part is vision, mission, and SWOT. So you go to the company's website, you'll find that, and talk about, if how closely it is following its vision and mission. Sometimes a company just puts a vision or mission statement, but that just, uh, doesn't serve much purpose. They may not even follow it. So kind of look to see if the company is actually following that. And then the strengths, weakness, and opportunities. So try to come up with at least, 3 strengths, 3 weaknesses, 3 opportunities, 3 threats. Okay. And then this is like the meat of the presentation, which is strategy and competitor analysis. So pick any 4 functional strategies. So the functional strategies, anything related to accounting, finance, marketing, technology, supply chain, whatever, and see how it compares with its competitors. Okay. What kind of strategy it is using, let's say, for marketing, and how are its competitors using those strategies. Okay. And then the next is look at stock chart of the company, minimum of 5 years, and compare again with 2 competitors. Again, more of the problem that people or some teams do is they have just 1 competitor. Try to have 2 competitors. Okay. And also the third is your S&P 500. So let me give you like a demo of how to do this. So let's see. So go to finance.yahoo.com right here, and let's start typing. I'm just going to pick Walmart. Okay. And you don't have to know the ticker symbol. See, I started typing and you'll see Walmart. Okay. And then click on chart. And again, you don't have to use finance.yahoo, but it's simpler. You see this, and then compare it with, as I mentioned, you could compare it with NASDAQ if it's a tech company, or S&P 500. And so this is, by the way, is S&P. So forget about the other lines in this, just focusing on this one. And then compare it with another competitor would be, let's say, Target, right? So Target is over here. And then let's say we compare it with Amazon. Okay. So make sure the chart is at least 5 years chart. Okay. As you can see, the top one, the pink one, is Amazon. It's doing way better than any of its competitors. This is Walmart. So 5 years ago, if you had to put $100 in it, in Amazon, you would have made 4.5 times more. In Walmart, your money would have doubled. In Target, it would have been 1.5 times more. So $100 would have been $250 in Target. $100 would have been close to like $211 in Target. Sorry, Walmart. Walmart is kind of the lowest in these, and in Amazon, it would be $551. Okay, so. And look at these ups and downs. If you find anything that is interesting, you could even comment on that as to what happened over here for this to skyrocket. Okay. And so just take the 5-year chart, make sure you compare it with 2 competitors and either S&P or NASDAQ. Feel free to use other charts and graphs and figures to make your point. If you're saying that your company is doing good in such and such field, or this is the strategy that is working for it, then if you have charts and graphs to support it, that would be great. And then finally, include 4 concepts. Look at the chapters, pick any of the 4 concepts that apply to your company. So one of the concepts could be pricing strategy, and you're saying, it uses low cost, and then you discuss how it is using low cost strategy. And then finally, your conclusion, what do you think is the future of the company? Okay. Do you think it's, let's say if Walmart was your company, do you think it is capable of competing with Amazon? okay? And what does the future look like? All right, so a quick recap. Uh, make sure that you stay within the time limit, 10 to 12 minutes. You practice, so minimum is 10 minutes, maximum is 12 minutes. Then, one of your teammates would introduce the team. Then you introduce the company, something interesting, and include 2 pie charts, then vision, mission, and SWOT. And the most important part is the strategy and competitor analysis. Here you talk about its 4 functional strategies, and then use finance.yahoo.com to compare the company with S&P 500 or NASDAQ and 2 competitors, and apply any 4 major concepts from any chapters. Try to use just one concept, from a chapter, not use more than one. And then finally end with a strong conclusion. All right. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in future videos. All right.